Hello everyone, my name is Dan Masters. I'm an assistant director with the NSAA, and welcome to your video to prepare you as a head coach for Unified Sports Bowling District Tournaments. Those are coming up quickly. In this video I'm going to explain to you a few key points to prepare yourself if you're a new head coach, or things to review if you're a returning coach. At the end of the day, the manual is a great resource. So is our Unified Sports Bowling tab on the NSAA homepage. And then also don't hesitate to contact me. I'm glad to help with anything as questions arise. So first, pause the video, go get your manual, get the NSAA webpage pulled up on your device. All right, now that you got that going, let's break it down. So first and foremost, hopefully by now you've seen a list and the list of district assignments posted on the districts tab of the Unified Sports Bowling page. This shows what schools are going to which sites, the date and time of your competition. Know that the host AD or host tournament director will be reaching out to your AD and your school and giving you details, and I'll go into that a little bit more detail later on in this video. So we've taken care of district assignments. Next, make sure you review in page 8 of the manual, so go there if you can. Page 8 talks about team composition. In Unified Sports Bowling, in the district tournament, you can send one team with up to 5 team members on it, and at any point during the competition, 3 of those 5 team members will be competing. Okay? Review that. Make sure that you also understand that in your team composition, it is not ideal, and Special Olympics Nebraska or Special Olympics International would agree on this. It's their language. We don't want to send a team comprised completely of athletes. And we want to find that balance of athlete to partner. And I realize 5 is an odd number, but at a minimum, you need to have at least 1 athlete to compete. So that takes us into what the Baker Trio format is. And you have to have 2 partners. Okay? Review the Baker Trio info found on page 12. So when you compete the day of districts, and the way you should be competing right now during the regular season is, in the Baker Trio, your athlete will bowl frame 1, your partner frame 2, another partner in frame 3, and then in frame 4 we bring our athlete back in. And so your athlete bowls frames 1, 4, 7, and 10. They get 4 frames out of those 10 frames in the game. So make sure you review that Baker Trio format. You can play another athlete as a partner. That is okay, but you shouldn't be playing all 3 spots as athletes. Because again, Unified, and the beautiful thing about Unified Sports is you get the athlete-partner interaction, team camaraderie, etc. So make sure you review the Baker Trio found on page 12. On that page, you'll see the diagram that outlines each frame, whether it's an athlete or partner should be bowling in each of those frames. Next on the list, let's talk about ramps. If you haven't done your accommodations yet for a ramp bowler, you need to take care of that ASAP, like right now. You're late to the game. But having said that, we also have a number of students throughout the state that will be using ramps throughout the regular season and into the postseason. If your team has a ramp bowler or another assistance device participant on it, make sure you have the proper paperwork that I've sent to you ready to go. Also, make sure you review the specs on ramps in addition to the rules on assisted versus unassisted ramp bowlers. That's found on page 13 in the manual. Most of our district sites are going to ask you to bring your ramp with you, so make sure you plan for that accordingly as well. Let's talk about uniforms. Page 14. Uniforms are required. All of your team members should look the same. They should all be in the same jersey top and the same. If boys are wearing black slacks, they should all have black slacks on. If the girls are in skirts, they should all be wearing skirts. They should all look the same, be dressed in uniform, and have their jersey ready to go the day of district tournament and throughout the regular season. Let's talk about ties. Page 14. If we have a tie after the 6 games at districts, 6 Baker games, we have a tie-breaking procedure outlined on page 14. I'm asking your district tournament directors to just reach out to me if a tie exists, as I will take them through that sudden death procedure. But no, there's going to be a 1-ball roll-off. It'll be really exciting to see who's going to break that or win that tiebreaker. Lane conditions, page 15. Because there is a wild card team, set of teams that will qualify for state, let's talk about that. We have 6 districts in each class, so we have 6 district champions in each class. So the winner of each district will qualify for state. but then we also bring in the next 2 best teams according to their score at districts. So they could happen to be from the same district. Maybe they got second and third, but they scored the highest 6-game total pinfall that did not qualify for state. We're going to bring in 2 wildcard qualifiers. And because of those wildcard components, John Lucido from Sun Valley Lanes and myself, we are working on finalizing an oil pattern that will be kept confidential and passed along to each of the proprietors at each of our district sites. So you will all be playing, at least within a class, under the same oil pattern so that we can keep things consistent across the class and have a wildcard component to it. I've already mentioned your host will pre-communicate with you. Maybe they already have. And make sure you are responding back to them in timely fashion. When you arrive the day of for districts at your site, there's a couple of things that you can prepare for. Number 1 is review the warm-up guide that we've posted on the districts tab of the Unified Bowling page. That warm-up guide will explain how warm-ups will look the day of. And all of you will end up warming up for half of the warm-up time, which is 15 minutes on one lane, and then move to the lane you will compete on first for the last 7.5 minutes. That way, as soon as warm-ups are done, you can go right into bowling game 1. So I'd review that warm-up guide. I would also review the sub-tracker form. I've got a copy of it right here, and it's also posted on the districts page of our Unified Bowling webpage. The sub-tracker form is going to be required to be filled out by you as a head coach at districts, and all you are simply doing is listing out your 5 team members, and then you are marking off which frame they bowl in each of the 6 games. This is a great way for us to make sure that our athletes are bowling where the athletes should be, our partners are bowling where the partners should be, but it also reminds you of the substitution rule. And that simply is, once a sub is made, so once I sub my athlete out after, let's say, frame 1, my athlete that I just brought out of the current game cannot go back in until the next game. So I would then bowl the remaining part of game 1 with that new athlete in place, and they would bowl frame 4, 7, and 10. Then I could bring my athlete back in for the second game if I choose to do so. In other words, there's no re-entry. Okay? So make sure you review that sub-tracker form. You'll get a copy of that the day of districts. You'll fill that out accordingly and submit it back to the athletic director there. I've already talked about cumulative pins wins the district, 6 games, 6 Baker games. You will be qualified to state as a district champion. And then I've already explained the wild card. So I guess I finished earlier. If you've got questions, don't hesitate to call me, email me, send them my way. We'll find an answer for you and help you out. I hope you're all having a great regular season, and we're excited to see you in the postseason. Take care, everybody.